Okay, step is the first step. The step is nothing but like it specifies the number. Okay, so or it specifies the sequence in the sense you will be writing condition types like this, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, so it tells the sequence of the condition types in a pricing procedure. That's one purpose of the step. And the second purpose is step number will be used in from for calculation purpose. Okay, see, when you want to calculate discount on base value, what we are doing, say suppose our step number of discount is 40, but in the from we are giving us 20, because I want to calculate this whatever the condition type 40 from the value of 20. That's my base value. So step is nothing but which will tell the sequence of the condition type. At the same time, step will help us to do the calculations, what we call calculations for the condition type. Okay. The next is counter. The next field after the step is counter. See, counter is something like a sub step. Why? Because suppose say your project has been implemented in 2005. Okay, in 2005 the SAP implementation project has been done, and now you are supporting, and now your client is asking for something to be included in that particular pricing procedure which is created almost 10 years back. Okay, so what the sequence, suppose say if I make it, if they write it as one step instead of 10, 20, 30, if they write it as 1, 2, 3, 4, you will not have an option to include that, right? So step, the counter is nothing but like a sub step. That means step you write like this 10, 20, 30, 40. Counter will help us to include any steps. Okay, you can add that. If you we have 145 step, I guess, in our document somewhere we'll be seeing. Yeah, you can see like this. Okay. So if numbers are maintained as 1, 2, 3 instead of these things, what happens in this case? You will be unable to add a new condition type between two steps in future. Okay, so that's the reason you maintain a gap of at least 10 so that you can include some condition types. Okay, so always maintain a median 10 gap for every condition type, so that in the real time in the future you can insert any new condition type. We have a new condition type already here, 45 or something. Earlier you can in our configurations you can also see there. That's what the counter is. The next is description. No, next is condition type. So condition types tells what pricing element it is or pricing component it is. That's what this condition type controls. The next is description. Description, like it will help the users to identify what is this condition type. That means, say suppose if I don't maintain description here in the pricing procedure, if I don't write this as a base value, or if I don't write this as a 05 means it's a customer discount, right? So customer discount, or if I don't write this as a common discount, okay, in pricing procedure I'm leaving these fields blank. When it comes to the sales document, when you go to the conditions tab, it will be tough for the users to identify what condition type it is. You see here, this is what description is all about. ZDIS, common discount. Z004, material discount. ZUPP, condition update, like this. So the description will help the users to identify what condition type it is in sales document. In the sales document, it will help the users to identify the condition type. Okay, that's what the description is. So description is to describe the condition type in the sales document pricing, which will be useful for the end users. And one more thing, description will also be used to bifurcate the pricing structure. Why? Because price, this is base value. Then after discount, gross value, then after net value, then after total value. Like that, it will help to bifurcate the pricing structure. Okay, you can see base value, gross value, net value, total value, like this. So the purpose of description is, one is it will help the users to identify what kind of condition type it is in the sales document, and at the same time it will also help us to bifurcate the pricing structure. Okay, so any step for anything, that means step 20, 20, 30, 40, 50, for any step, if you just only entering base value without a condition type, if you are entering base value, that step should be statistical. Okay, you should make that particular step as statistical. Why? Because you don't want any influence of this particular step on the sales document. Okay, so that's what the description is all about. The next is from. So it's very important in the interviews also, they ask this question, what is standard base? Okay, they will not ask any, they will not tell you anything. So they'll ask a question in the interview saying that, what is standard base? Standard base is nothing but from in the pricing procedure 16 fields. What is from? That itself is a standard base. Why? Because from that place you start doing the calculation, right? Say suppose I write like this, step 10, 20, 30, 40, this is PR00, this is 10, and this is description. Okay, PR00 description, this is base value, and this is my K004, and this is K007. So I am calculating this K004. Suppose say my PR00 is 1000, that is copied here as a base value. Now I want to give some 10% discount. So what I will do, I will mention 20 here. So when I mention 20 here, that means I want to give 10% discount on 20. What is 20? It's nothing but a copy of PR00, that is nothing but price 1000. Okay. So from means standard base, from where the calculation starts. Okay, this is where the calculation starts, and up to what value, that will be specified in 2, from and to. So from is always a standard base. From field will help to determine the base value of calculating the condition type value in sales document pricing. The next is to 10 to 20. Therefore, I did not get you, Srini. What's that? What is that? What if we say from 10 to 20? Would it consider 10 plus? Okay, 10 to 20. You want to give it as? No, it's wrong actually. Well, because you know it, right? You know it on what it should be calculated, how much it should be calculated. So you should be give it meaningfully. So the next is 2. 2 will help us to cumulate. That means I'm saying that any calculation will start from here, but up to what value? Say suppose I mention a step like 20 to for this. Okay, 20 to 40. That means from here to here. So from here to here calculate. Okay, so 20 tells from where to start the calculation, 40 tells where to stop the calculation. So it will help us to cumulate the values. So to field will be used to cumulate the values of multiple steps which are in a sequence. Okay, so if we leave two and fields blank, okay, we just leave it, then system will take immediate above value. Okay, if you don't specify those, it will take the above values to consider the condition value. The next is manual. As we know, manual, if you mark some condition type as a manual, that means a user has to enter the condition type manually into the sales document, and he need to activate, and all header conditions are manual condition types. Okay, so that's what you mark it here. Okay, just a moment, let me open that. Visualize 08. Yeah, manual. Any condition type, if you check manual, then system will not determine the condition type automatically in the sales document. User has to enter that manually and activate it. Okay, and all in standard, all the header conditions are manual. Then next is required. Required is nothing but mandatory. For any condition type, if you check required, and if that condition type is not determined into sales document, system will not allow you to save that particular sales document. And any document which is not saved, you cannot do further processing. Okay, so condition required means it's nothing but telling that condition type is mandatory, and that condition type should not be missed from the sales document. The next is statistical. So for any condition type, if you check statistical, it will have two effects. Okay, it will have two effects if you check it statistical. That thing is, the value of condition type will not have any effect on the net value, first thing, and system will not post those values into the accounting. Remember this very well. Okay, if you check any condition type statistical, system will not post that values into accounting. That means there is no accounting entry document generated. Okay, remember this. Later we will see some scenarios on this. Okay, you should be in a position to answer those. Okay, that is statistical. So in standard, the statistical condition types what we have is VPRS, SKTO, KVMU, PI01. So all the are any bifurcation steps, that is description, anything. These all are statistical in standard. Okay, so the next is print. Print means what you want to print. Okay, so whether you want to print at header level or item level, or you don't want to print it. So this all you have an option to control from this particular step called as print. This field controls whether to print condition type into the printouts or not, and you have options, that is blank. If you don't want to print anything, just leave it blank, so system will not print. If you want to print, then maintain X or S. Why? Because X it will print at the item level, S will print at the header level. But obviously you will be maintaining X all the time. Why? Because if you have 10 line items in the sales document, you want to print each line item along with the price. You don't want to sum up and give only one value in the invoice. Okay, so you want to list out, okay, what is the material, how much quantity, what is the price, like this. So generally you in the standard they will be maintaining X, so that it will print all the line items in the document. So that what this print controls. Okay, WS01 okay, one more important thing. If you remember OVKK, can anyone tell what is the fields we have in OVKK? Anyone? What fields we have in OVKK? Pricing procedure determination, OVKK. What all the fields we have? Sales area and document pricing procedure, customer pricing procedure, and pricing procedure. Apart from that, in the last, you will be finding a field called condition type. Okay, you see sales area, sales org, distribution channel, division, and document pricing procedure, customer pricing procedure, and pricing, this particular pricing procedure. You also have one more field called as condition type here. Very important, in the interviews also they ask this question: why you assign condition price condition type in the OVKK? Okay, why do you assign your condition type? Okay, because let me show you practically why we do this. Let me create an order VS01. This few minutes, it will take time anyway. Okay, see one, I'm creating an order. So formulation in an order, it's 124 ZB001. Okay. Okay, you see, I created an order for one customer, and my condition types has been determined. So if I scroll on to the right, you can see price here, net price of the material. And suppose, say, what is my price of material? Let me just check. Conditions. Okay, okay, it is Z00 7,000. It's not PR00, it's Z00. Okay, so now you see here, you observe this. This is called as condition item, line item overview. Okay, this particular, I selected line item 10, and if you scroll to the right, whatever you are seeing, this is called as line item overview, the item category, date, INR, and everything. And you see this field is blank. Amount, this field is blank, right? It's showing net value, okay, but the amount field is blank. Okay, now let me do one thing. This is my sales area. For this, let me assign my price condition type Z000. Is that my price condition type? It's a Z000, right? Or Z0? It should be Z000, I guess. Okay, let me save. Okay, I just saved it. And just notice this amount and this field is blank here. Now let me create order one more time. /n VA01. Okay, 1. Okay, I created an order, and let me scroll and see the line item overview. Yeah, yeah. If you notice, earlier this field was blank, right? I hope everyone noticed it. Earlier this was blank, but now it's showing the condition type value. So what is the purpose of assigning this particular condition type, price condition type in the pricing procedure is, it will help us to, that means it will help the user to change the price in the line item overview itself. That means, suppose, say, the condition record what I have maintained for Z000 is 7,000, but here I want to charge this customer 8,000. So again, I need not to go back to week 11 and do that. From here itself, I can change the price of the material. You see, 8,000. Got this? I hope you everyone understood. Okay. So why we assign the condition type to the pricing procedure in the OVKK is because it will help the user to change the condition type amount or value in the line item overview itself in the sales document. That's the reason we add this. Okay. Yeah. So next, coming back to the pricing procedure. Okay, we looked up to statistical and print also. We finished. Next is subtotal. Okay, subtotal is nothing but it's like a temporary tables. Okay, subtotal is temporary tables and fields where you can save some values for future calculations. Okay, that means if you want to do some calculation, but when you want to do some, that means, okay, let me put it like this. If you want to do some calculation, that means you want to charge 3% on something, but on what? On what you want to charge? Suppose a base price. So where this base price is stored temporarily 1000 in subtotal fields. So system will do calculation saying that 3% on 1000 it will give some value. Okay. So after once you save it and exit, these fields will be wiped out. So subtotal it is used to store the values of condition types in some temporary tables and fields for the purpose of future calculations. What are the future calculations you want to do? At the same time, it's not only for discount. Suppose say I'm creating an order, okay, whether I want to check whether this order has been exceeding credit limit or not. So how I will know? So system will get the customer's past pending values into the subtotals and it will compare that values with this particular present sales document value and it will come to know whether this document has been exceeding credit limit of that particular customer or not. Okay. So let's see few options what SAP has given a standard. So we do calculate, okay, these tables, subtotal is at only temporary tables and fields. That means it's only like a placeholder which will hold the data. But where you do the calculations, you do all the calculations in this alternative calculation type and alternative base type. Okay. So to alternative calculation type and alternative base type is nothing but formulas. Okay. So you put formula here and in that formula you need to have some values to calculate. That value system will pull from subtotal. So we do calculations in alternative and alternative base type and subtotal will also be used to update the sales document values into credit management and the standard is A, very important. In the interviews also they ask this, what is the subtotal for credit management? Okay, subtotal for credit management is 7 and rebates, A, for rebates it is 7 and VPR as cost condition type subtotal is B. That means if you want to check profit margin, then how system knows profit margin to be calculated? So first system will pull the BPRS condition type, cost condition type value into the subtotal and it will check against that your base price. Okay, in standard SAP has given some this thing and SAP has also given some free things which you can use according to your project requirement. Some tables and fields which SAP has given free, blank. And as at the same time SAP has given something standard like credit management, rebates, VPRS and you see A is for the credit management and cost, statistical, gross value, 7 rebates and these all are free which you can use. That means carry over value. Any value you carry over to these fields, store it there and later you apply the formula, get the value and when you save it, whatever the data saved in this field will be wiped out. Okay, it's only temporary tables and fields which will hold data for future calculations. The next is requirement. Okay, requirement is nothing but like a condition. Okay, requirement is not a condition which will check to fulfill something. If the condition type is fulfilled, then only system will get that value into the condition type into sales document. Okay, requirement is a condition which system will check every time while determining a condition type into a sales document. That means you placed all condition types into the sales document. Oh, sorry, into the pricing procedure. That's fine. But to get whether to get this condition type into the sales document or not is depending upon the requirement whatever you maintain. So requirement controls that. It always checks, actually it always checks while determining a condition type into sales document. If the condition type is fulfilling, then only system will get it. If it's not fulfilling, then it will not get it. Okay, so let's see some standard condition types. Requirement 2. So what requirement 2 checks? We already know that this what requirement 2 checks, but let me show you. So select this and go to this ABAP code here down so that you can at least know something. Okay, what this particular requirement 2 checks in the TVAP table. In the TVAP table means it's an item category table. Okay, in the TVAP item category table, the field pricing in the item category we have a field pricing, right? For a standard material tan we maintain it as X, and for our free goods we maintain it as B. So system is telling that in the TVAP table whether check whether pricing is turned on or not. On means it should be X. So system is telling go and check whether it's X or B, whether pricing is on or not. That's what requirement 2 is checking. If it is 2, that means if it is X, then system will get that price into the sales document. Then next is 4, VPRS condition type, cost condition type. So let's see what system checks for what condition system is checking, validating, and if this particular valid condition is validating, then only system will get that values into the condition type. So let's see for cost condition type. So if you remember uh, cost determine cost. Okay, so again it says that determine cost according to the item category configuration. In the VOV7 item category configurations, if you notice there is a field called as determine cost. Okay, check indicator, or else let me open that. Most of the things system will check at item level. VOV7. So standard requirement 2, the first one what system checks is this one, whether the pricing field is X or B. And requirement 4, what it checks is in the TVAP table item category, whether this determine cost is active or not. If it is active, then only pull this VPRS condition type into the sales document. If it is not, don't get VPRS condition type into the sales document. Okay, so that's what system is checking in the TVAP table, whether it's activated or not. That's 4. And next is 9. This is for cash discount, SKTO cost what cash discount condition type. Okay, relevant for cash discount after tax. What this checks, whether in the material master cash discount is activated or not. Okay, whether in the material master, do we have any ABAPers in this batch? Meenakshi, Gaurav, no, I guess, right? No one is an ABAPer, right, in this batch? Okay, so they will be easily understanding this code. Okay, so anyway, relevant for cash discount, system checks this in the material master whether the cash discount is activated in the sales org 1 tab or not. That's what it checks. The next 10. 10 is for plant. Plant is set or not. 10 is generally maintained for MWST, tax condition type. So if you want to determine tax, a plant has to be maintained. So system checks whether a plant has been made, plant or departure country is set or not. For what? Tax MWST. For that it will check this. Likewise, we have couple of more. 22 discount. Yeah, 22 intercompany. So what this checks intercompany? It checks that both the plants, that is supplying plant and receiving plant, belongs to two different company codes or not. Then only it is an intercompany billing, right? So that's the reason it checks. So it checks like BUKR is plant not equal to that particular another plant. Okay, sorry, BUKR is company code and works is plant. Okay, so it checks that two plants, supplying plant and receiving plant, belongs to two different company codes. That's what requirement 22 checks. Plant invoice. 24, rebates. Rebates is always determined in only billing document. Okay, so to requirement 24, it is assigned to BO01, BO02, BO03 condition types, rebate condition types. So it checks that whether the document is billing or not. That's the reason it's saying that only in billing documents. So requirement 24, this 23, 24, this all checks that condition is only applied in invoices, credit memos and debits. That means any document it is okay, but it should be only an invoice billing document. That's what 24 this checks. The next 55, free goods, R100 condition type. This checks that in the TVAP table pricing, whether pricing is B or not. 100% discount pricing for free goods. Okay, it checks whether it's B or not. 59, NRIB condition type, free goods. This is NRIB condition type, free goods. This also checks the same thing, free goods, whether it's B or not. The condition should not apply to return document. Okay, it's the same thing. It's for the NRIB condition type, which we'll see in the free goods in the next concept. Yeah, that's it. So I have put all these things in the document also. You can just go through them. Very, very important. Requirement is the most important for any consultant. Okay, requirement is also called as routines. You see, the name it shows as requirement, but when I open it, the name shows as routines. And in that, for sure, remember in interviews they'll ask you, did you work on routines? Have you developed any new routines in your project? For sure they'll ask this question. Okay, so yeah, you should say yes. Yeah, I worked on routines. Okay, let me tell you what is routine and how you work on routines. So to develop a new routine, this is called as pricing routines. See, routines, we have different kinds of routines. Okay, we have pricing routines, we have copy control routines, we have free goods routines. Okay, lots of routines we have. So that's the reason they specifically ask you, did you work on any pricing routines? Yes. So how a routine is developed? Routine is nothing but developing a new this piece of code. It's developed by the developers with a transaction code as VOFM. It's called as VOFM routines. So let me execute and show you. Okay, so these are the routine. Routine means it's nothing but a formula which you will be developing. Why? Because standard SAP may not be fulfilling your requirement. So you will ask your developer to develop a new routine. Routine is nothing but it has some code back to it. Okay, so that code is nothing but formula, some calculations. So you can see requirements, pricing, we have output, we have account determination, material determination, listing, exclusion, free goods, credit management, lots of requirements and routines you will be having. Okay, coming to formulas, we will have different scale formula, how to calculate condition value, lot of formulas. So ABAPer will use a transaction code called VOFM to develop new routines. And any user defined routines should be 901 and above. So these are the routines which we have here, and okay, I haven't mentioned it here, the T code and these things. Okay, VOFM is the transaction code which they will be using to develop a new routine, and any user defined routine should be 100 and above. And let's see one scenario why you need to develop a new routine, and you can tell the same to your interviewer also if they ask in the interviews. Just a minute, my document has frozen. Yeah, just a minute. Okay, any user routine should be 900 and above. So let's see one scenario, like in what case you'll be developing a new routine, and in the interviews also if they ask you, did you work on any pricing routine? Yes. So what demanded you to develop a new routine? That is nothing but, see, you know that can we have two base prices in a single sales document in a single pricing procedure? So in standard it's not possible, right? We cannot have two standard base prices in a single sales pricing procedure. It's not possible. But your client is saying that I want it. Okay, your client is saying that I want two base price condition types in a single pricing procedure. Okay, because they are creating a standard item order, an order with a standard item as well as third party material. Okay, standard material TAN and third party material TAS. So they are having these two materials in a single sales document, and price for this both materials are different. Okay, so just a minute, it's not opening. Okay, I'll write it here itself. The document is not opening. Okay, so client requirement is they want to have two base prices in a single sales pricing procedure. So which is called as PR00 and ZPR00. Okay, ZPR0. Okay, like that they want to have two base prices in a sales document, because whenever they are creating a standard order, system should pull PR00, and when we are creating a third party item, system should pull ZRP0. Okay, these two has two different prices, but in standard we know requirement 2 controls that there should be only one base price, so you cannot have two base prices in a single sales document. So the reason what you can do is you can ask your ABAPer to develop a new pricing routine, Okay, you can ask your developer to develop a new routine, and he will be developing some routine like this. So line item 10 PR00, line item 20 ZPRO. This is for TAN standard item, and this is for TAS third party item. So both the same, both the price condition types in a single document. So what your developer will do is, he will be developing a new requirement 901, 902, something like this, which is a copy of standard requirement 2. So as you know, best practice of SAP, always copy and reuse and modify something. So they'll copy this and develop new routines like this, 901 and 902. So 901 is for TAN and 902 is for TAS. So how this works is, they'll write some logic like this: check KYMP PSTYN is not equal to TAS. Not equal to TAS means it should be TAN, right? Then that is this one. Okay, not equal to TAS means it should be TAN. So so 901, the logic is this. At the same time, they will write other logic for 902, that is check KOMP PSTYN is equal to TAS. If this is equal to TAS, obviously this is TAS, this is 902. So these two requirement new numbers you will be assigning for this particular condition types. So there is no conflict. So system will take two different base prices in a single sales document. So this is, you can tell this one scenario in the interviews if they ask you, saying that why you developed a new price requirement. Okay, so that's what requirement is all about. But you might be facing some other requirements also in the project. Okay, the next is alternative calculation type and alternative base type. As we already discussed that both are formulas. Okay, alternative calculation type and alternative base type are both nothing but formulas. But in what case we use it? Let's see. This is alt calculation type and this is alt base type. Okay, so what the difference is? One thing common, both are formulas, but alt calculation type, we use this particular if the calculation part of the condition type value is not standard. Okay, the condition type value is not standard or not fixed, like say your PR00, it's fixed, right? Say 1000 rupees, like, but your freight charge or your packing charge is not fixed. Why? Because that is depending upon what is the quantity and you are doing. It is not fixed. So in that time you will be putting some formula like this, saying that 3% of so and so and you get some value. So you use alternative calculation type when your calculation part is of the calculation type is not standard. Okay, and coming to base type, we use alternative base type if the calculation part of the condition base value is not standard. Okay, here it is condition type value is not standard, and here condition, I'll write it here, condition type value, and here condition base value is not standard. If you second one, if you maintain formula in alternative calculation type, system itself calculates and proposes you the value. Okay, if you maintain formula in base type, system calculates and proposes you condition base value. Okay, here system gives you condition type value and here system gives you condition base value. And the third one, So if you maintain formula in alternative calculation type, you need not to maintain condition record. Okay, you need not to maintain condition record because system itself is doing the calculation and proposing you the condition type value here. You need not to maintain condition record. But in the alternative base type, if you maintain a formula in alternative base type, we have to maintain a condition record, so that then you need to convert that base value into the condition type value. Okay, so that purpose you need to maintain it here. So I have put this in the document also. See, this is little tedious to understand alternative calculation type and base type. I'll be providing you some extra notes for you to better understand on this. Okay, as we already know this, what is the standard base? So that's what the standard base which we will be using in the base type formula. From is always a standard base. Okay, so this is the three difference points to understand alternative calculation type and alternative base type. So I have mentioned the differences also here. You can go through them. Then next is account key. See, many times actually we feel that the integration between SD and FI, SD and FI is either credit management or revenue account determination, something like this. But the integration between and FI happens first at account key. Here in the interviews also they'll ask you, do you have any integration in pricing between the credit management and any integration between SD and FI do we have in pricing? Okay, account key is the integration between SD and FI. Okay, why? Because you are specifying in which GL account this value should be posted. Okay, you are giving here and you are specifying here saying that where in which GL account your value should be posted. So this is the first integration which will happen between an SD and FI modules. Okay, so let's see what is an account key. Account key is one of the parameter which will help us to determine the GL account. So as we know, in customer master we have seen one field called as customer account assignment group, and in the material master we have seen one field called as material assignment group. Likewise, account key is also one of the parameter which will help us to determine which GL account to be determined to post the invoice values. Okay, so for any condition type, if it is not statistical, then we have to maintain account key. If it is statistical, we don't maintain account key. Okay, why? Because statistical means it will not generate any accounting document. Not generating accounting document means not posting anything into the accounting. Okay, so here very interesting interview question they'll be asking in the interviews also. So you should be in a position to answer this question. Why? Because we already discussed about what is a statistical condition type. So here it is, there is a condition type which is statistical, but we have assigned an account key. So earlier what we discussed, statistical condition type will not have any account key. Why? Because for statistical condition type there is no accounting entry document generated. No accounting entry document means you are not posting anything into the GL accounts. So for a statistical account condition type, you have assigned account key. Okay, will no, we have assigned an account key. What happens when you assign account key to a statistical condition type? There's no effect. Why? Because statistical will take more preference than account key. Okay, statistical takes more preference than account key. So the reason, if you assign an account key to the statistical condition type also, nothing will happen. It will not post into the accounting. But my other question is, I have a statistical condition type for which I assign my account key, and now I want uh, forcibly post some values into accounting. Okay, for this question is clear, right? Here system will not have any effect. Why? Because statistical take more preference than the account key. Nothing happens. But it's the same thing again, same question. That is, I have a statistical condition type and I assigned an account key, but still I want to post some values into the accounting. How to do that? You may also face this requirement in the real time. Okay, I'll tell you. So anyway, account keys, like we have ERL, ERS, ERB, ERF. Like it's a revenue is ERL, discount ERL, what is the revenue, ERL or ERS? ERS, I think ERS. Okay, I'll write it here on the document so that it's not confused. So base price PR00, base price it is ERL, discount it is ERS, freight ERF, tax MWS, or we have one more MW3, rebate ERB, accruals ERU. So these are the some standard account keys which SAP has provided. You can also copy this or create new one, or you can create your own account keys depending upon your project. But this is the standard account keys which system has given. So this account key will have act as one of the parameter in determining the GL accounts. Okay, so that's what the account key is. The next is accruals. Accruals actually is used in the rebate concept actually. Accruing means accumulating or collecting. That's called as accruing. Say suppose your company has announced the rebates. Okay, so at the end of the year when they calculated to settle the rebates, the amount was 20 crores. That means 20 crore amount they need to settle to customers for rebates. So it's very hard for companies to have a liquid cash of 20 crores, right? So what they will do is on the day one itself when they when they announce the rebates, from that day onwards what the company will do is they will pull some percent of amount out of every transaction. From every transaction they'll try to pull at least 1% of amount, so that by end of the day this amount can be 15 crores. Okay, so how much more money company need to settle the rebates? 5 crores. So okay, 5 crores may not be big issue for them to manage, but managing 20 crores is issue. Okay, so that's the reason we keep some amount aside in a temporary provisional GL account, which is called as accruing. Accruing means collecting. So accruals is nothing but keeping some amount aside from every transaction into a provisional account to meet the future requirements of rebate settlements. Okay, provisional account means it will not have any effect on the accounting. It will be credit and debit at the same time. Okay, now you see this interview question. There is a condition type which is statistical, but I want to post it into GL account. I want to post it into GL account. Why? Because statistical generally we can't post. But how you can do that? For that condition type, change the calculation type to CC, means expense reimbursement, rebate. Even though it's a statistical condition type, change the condition type to C and assign the accruals ERB, yeah, ERU. Then system will post the values into accounting. Okay, so these are the 16 fields of the pricing, and very important. You will be facing for sure one or two questions out of this in any way. Either they can ask you what is requirement, routine, any question they might ask you. Very important also. Okay, so we finished technically pricing. Okay, so we have some more thing concepts. Okay, we have reverse pricing, but we will not be going to cover this. Even I don't know, but I have just given some scenario to understand reverse pricing. If you can understand it. If not, please leave it. Don't worry about reverse pricing. It's used only in few industries. Okay, so apart from this, we already discussed this, how system determines pricing into sales document. And okay, now we have seen 16 fields, right? What is the sequence of the 16 fields? It is a step, counter, condition type, description, manual, uh, manual, and required, print, like this. Is it the same sequence system will follow in determining 16 fields? System will not take that same sequence. So the sequence, so this is also very important interview question. What sequence system follows out of 16 fields pricing procedure while determining the condition recorded into the sales documents? So this is the sequence system will follow to determine the condition type into the sales documents. Okay, step, counter, condition type. This is okay up to this, but then after this there should be description. But system will take requirement, subtotal, and this way. This way system will go. And the next question is, yeah, what is the use of upper limit and lower limit? Okay, let me show you one more thing. See, yesterday we were talking about condition update, right? So you can see this in the not this additional data screen. This is header. This is additional data. You click on, okay, select the condition, this one, and click on the additional data. Okay, so this is what condition update is all about. That means maximum condition value you can maintain 10 lakhs INR, something like this, or maximum number of orders. Yesterday I was telling this is a gap, right? So let me F4 and show you. Okay, you see there is only one option for you to maintain 03. If I try to maintain, say suppose 10, what system says? Enter a valid value. Okay, so system will not allow you to enter anything more than 3. At least even enter I4, system will not take it. And let me F1 and show you what system says. Yeah, what system says here? Specify up to maximum of 3, only 3. This is what the gap in SAP, that is system will not allow you anything more than 3 numbers in the condition update. And these 3 fields, whatever you are seeing here, this will be active here only when you activate condition update, that in the PRW, the condition type controls. If you activate that indicator condition update, then only you will see these fields. If not, you will not see these fields. It will be hidden. Okay, and this is condition supplement, you know it. Okay, this is the additional data. Okay, let me go to the details of the condition type. Pricing type, where is pricing type? Pricing type yesterday we have discussed already, Gaurav. I'll share the video, you please go through that. See, I was telling that in the condition type controls we have one master data field where we have seen valid, from valid to lower limit, upper limit, and I was telling you about deletion indicator and exclusion indicator, all the things, right? You can see all that particular master data block, whatever you see in the condition type controls in this particular detail screen. You see valid, from, upper limits and lower limits. This is called as deletion indicator. This is called as exclusion indicator. Okay, scales. So everything whatever you see in master data you can see here also. Okay, and in the interviews also sometimes they may ask this question, where is deletion indicator? Okay, deletion indicator is at condition type level and at the condition record level, both. Okay, and upper limit, lower limit. Okay, reports, T codes for the report, pricing reports. To create a pricing report, the transaction code is V/LA, and to view or execute it is V/LD. Okay, T codes are important here. Yeah, one very important other scenario. So these all are scenarios. In the interviews, if they ask you, you can tell the same thing. What you worked on pricing means these all things. That's the reason all the interviewers are appreciating my trainees' knowledge, saying that your knowledge on pricing is exceptional. Why? Because this deep, no one will learn actually. So let's see one scenario here. Client requirement is they want to introduce a new discount condition type in existing pricing procedure, but new discount condition set to appear while creating the invoice. That means I have created an order on September 1st. I have created an order and I have done a delivery on September 15th, and on 7th of October today I am creating an invoice. Okay, so when I created an order, at that time I have pricing procedure, price, discount, freight, tax, everything is there. Okay, right? But On October 1st, I have introduced a new condition type into this pricing procedure, which is called as RVAA01. I have introduced a new pricing procedure called as ZNew. Okay, this is a new discount type. Why? Because as this is a festival season, I want to give 1% more discount to the customers. So the reason I have introduced a new discount type, which is called as ZNew, which is not there at the time of creating order on September 1st in this particular pricing procedure. But now today when I'm creating an invoice to the customer for which order is created on September 1st, I want system to also consider this ZNew. Okay, that means in this particular RVAA. Why? Because see what happens, how system copies pricing from one flow to other document with help of copy controls. What copy controls will do? It will help to copy whatever is there in order to delivery to invoice. Like this it will do. But ZNew is not there on September 1st in RVAA01. But now my client requirement is on today 7th of October when I'm creating an invoice, I want to include even this new condition type into the sales document. How to do that? Okay, so the solution is, do we have condition type controls open? Okay, /06 condition type controls. Go to say it can be any condition type, so go to any condition type, and for that condition type go and select condition category as L. What is condition category L? Maintain for that condition type as condition category L. L means generally new when copying. Okay, that means when you are copying, whichever is the condition type, it will also include that. Generally new when copying. Okay, so let me read out the scenario once again. See this client requirement is they want to introduce a new discount condition type in existing pricing procedure, but new discount type should appear while creating invoice to already created sales order. Already this order has been created. So how you can do that? By maintaining condition class L in condition type controls. Okay, so some scenarios I have here, I don't have solution for that anyway here, but okay, so we have finished pricing, and pricing has a lot of questions, some close to 70 questions in my Q&A document. So I can say that your 50% to 60% training is over. Okay, so from Monday we will be discussing about all the determinations, basic function concepts, and hardly one concept one day or two concepts one day. So just exactly count some 20 to 25 days from now we'll finish everything. Okay, so any questions for today? And we need to have a resume preparation done, so when we'll catch up? Sunday? Is that Sunday okay for you guys in the morning sometime? Okay, anyway, you please let me know your time availabilities. Okay, the slot might be Sunday morning 8 to 9 o'clock. Sunday morning 8 to 9 o'clock. Is it okay for everyone? Then we'll have a session on Sunday morning for resume preparation. Okay, so just let me know on Skype. Okay, only attend Sunday morning. Okay, sticker no. Okay, okay, we'll do one thing. We'll do it on Saturday, Monday itself. Okay, on Monday we'll have a resume preparation, and from next day we can go ahead with our site concepts. Okay, so let's call it a day today, and have a good day, happy weekend. So please finish off everything. Why? Because pricing itself is a very big thing. We finished that, so be prepared, be prepared. Okay, yeah, so have a good day everyone, and let's catch back on Monday. Bye bye.